Hey everyone, Ryan here. I guess you could say that I'm the CEO or the big powerful leader of the Last of the Action Heroes podcast network, but that'll be a lie. However, I am the guy that kind of reaches out to people and says, hey, we have this little network, this little ham and egger network that is a bunch of like-minded, fun guys and gals that talk about action movies and our action heroes of the days of yore and what have you. Anyways, enough about it. Ryan, stop talking. Okay, Roger, I'll stop talking. So, folks, what we have here is a new podcast on the feed. They are called the Round 14 Podcast. Now, of course, if you're a Rocky fan, you know that Round 14 in the first film is when Rocky gets knocked down and he's climbing to the ropes and Mickey's saying, stay down. And Rocky gets up because he has to go the distance. You know, it's one of the best film sequences in any movie of all time. But I just want to make it clear, guys, if you're listening to this intro to this new podcast, that these guys don't just talk Rocky, okay? That's just the name of their podcast. They're just big Rocky fans, and they're called the Round 14 Podcast for that reason. But they're Sly fans, they're action movie fans, they're 80s movies fans. They also talk current events and what have you. So they're kind of like more of, current event show and what have you. So the next few episodes that are going to drop on the feed will be backlogged a little bit until we catch up live with them, what they have on YouTube. So check them out on YouTube. If you want to see their handsome faces, that's Tim and Tony. You can see their handsome faces, and the link to their YouTube channel will be in the description of this podcast. So there you go. So they are our YouTube podcast, and they've agreed to throw their audio of that YouTube podcast onto our Last of the Action Heroes podcast feed. Yeah, we're really appreciative that they took a chance on us. Just a ham and egger podcast network of like-minded, easygoing individuals talking about all things action. So here you go. Welcome to the network, Tim and Tony, Round 14 Podcast, Episode 1.
What's up, guys? How are you? And welcome to Round 14. This is a brand new show, and we did it, Tony. We did it.
We're here.
Unbelievable. Look how far we've come. So, guys, I am Tim, and my friend Tony C. from Florida. How are you, Tony?
The world.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, right? I'm up in Canada here, Kingston, Ontario. Tony's down in Clearwater, Florida.
Yeah, so, right by Clearwater, about 20 minutes away from Clearwater.
Yeah. How are you, Tony?
Good, man. How you doing? All right.
I'm doing great. So
good stuff. This is exciting.
Yeah, it is. So we thought we'd dip our toes in the podcast world here, and I think it's fun. We're doing a little background on the show here. Tony, why Round 14?
Well, obviously we know the reason of Round 14 as far as the Rocky series. It was the pinnacle of the movie. It's when he decided to get up and face Apollo, and it's when Apollo knew this wasn't just another bum from the neighborhood. Yeah. So, I think everybody has that in life and in movies too. Like there's certain movies that are pinnacle movies in your life, and those are Round 14s, or something you did in life, and that was around. It could be positive. You handled a negative situation and decided to get up off the mat. Or went after a positive, situation in your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all the soundtracks and movies and things that we accumulate around our lives, or all these decades, that's a tribute to it. So yeah, man, Round 14, everybody has one. You may not think you do, but you do. So
that's right.
That's why we did it.
No, that's great. So Tony and I, for those of you who do not know us, some of you may know who we are. We connected on a little podcast called The Rocky Files. And The Rocky Files is a podcast Thursday nights, YouTube, 7 o'clock. So check them out tomorrow night. And we just want to give a quick shout out to Mike and Stacy at The Rocky Files. We were both guests on The Rocky Files, and we were fortunate enough to be guest co-hosts. Some really good people over there. Like I said, we just want to give them a quick shout out.
Yeah. They, I guess they're the reason that we got the little bug of trying to do it on our own. But yeah, I love being a part of that show in any way I can. I've told them that numerous times, and I still would be. They ask me anything or ask me to co-host or ask me to, do something for them. I mean, they're great people. I mean, the whole Rocky universe is great people. I mean, they really are. I've never seen anything like it where you meet somebody, you and I didn't know each other at all. We had no connection at all, and if you ever came down to Florida, like you'd want to hang out. I mean, because you're just like the same people, so that's what's pretty cool about it. But that's, like Tim said, we started off with that stuff there. We wanted to take it a little further. Every episode we'll be talking Rocky and Rambo for a little bit, and then we'll slide into some other subjects or movies or TV shows or sports world or whatever's going on. When Tim and I talked about this idea, I pitched it as a hanging out at the sports bar with your buddies.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
You kind of really don't ever plan the subject when you go to a sports bar with your buddies. Sometimes you'll see a commercial on the TV and that takes you in another direction or whatever. So we'll see where we go. We have a little bit of a guideline. We want to be structured in some way, but we might start at A and go to F and then go to B, wherever it takes us.
It could be a little old age. It could be a little, you never know. And I laugh about the commercial. I have been at the bar and in a conversation and something comes on and I'm gone.
And then you start going down another path. But the foundation of it will always be Rocky and Rambo. I mean, I definitely do not know as much about Rambo as I do Rocky. Obviously I do know about it. I did see the films. Tim's a little more of a Rambo connoisseur than I am. So he'll be taking that, subject most times, but I joked with him when I said, I know like 3 things about Rambo, and he was actually surprised I knew those things. So, but yeah, Rocky, why we were on the Rocky Files and why we were in Rocky Land and we texted and virtually met each other, is the movie saga that's changed millions of lives.
Yeah.
Really
absolutely.
has. And I was thinking on the way home from work, I said, I'm going to bring this up because I always thought about this. Like, I can't be the only one that does this. I'll flick around on TV. I'll see what's going on. This channel, that channel, everybody. I mean, we stream now. I don't know what you guys do. We stream, so everybody flicks around a little bit, see nothing's on, and then I give in. Then it comes to the point where I just decide which Rocky am I watching.
Yeah.
And I always thought, like, do other people do that? Like, do whatever their movie group may be. The Rockheads do that, where they're like, I'm in a Rocky 2 kind of mood today, or Rambo fanatics. Do they decide, okay, I'm going to watch Last Blood today or whatever? But I do. With baseball season here, I watch the games. There's a lot more games to watch, so I don't really do that as often. But I do. I start flicking around, and then I'm like, you know what? I go back to Amazon. I bought them all, so they're all there to choose from. I'm like, which one do I want to watch? Okay, let's see. I'll watch 2. I've been on a 2 kick lately.
Rocky 2,
yeah. I've been on a 2 kick lately.
But nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with Rocky 2.
I was a little bit older than you are. I was let's see, I was 13 when that came out. So I saw that in the theater when I was 13 with my grandfather, and it was something else. It was
so it holds a little special place in your heart just for that.
Yeah,
reason.
Besides the actual film itself, because I mean that's the reason why the first one too. I mean I saw that with my dad.
Yeah.
He, I didn't know anything about it. He said, "Let's go see this boxing movie." We didn't realize what it was. And I'm like, "Sure."
Yeah, that's right. Changed your life though, didn't it?
It did. It absolutely did. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And a movie could change your life, you know, but I mean, you hear about things all the time where XYZ changed my life. It could be a song, it could be whatever. But, I've been on a little Rocky 2 kick. So I think of my grandfather when I see that movie. But I remember seeing it like it was yesterday, man. It's bizarre.
I did see it yesterday.
What's that?
I did see it yesterday.
Did you?
It was on TV yesterday.
Like, you don't think about, my girls laugh at me because like, I get all into it, I'll be like, when he's running or something, he's doing something, I got some body movements going on. I'll be like, I'll mumble under my breath, hit him, and stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, you've seen it hundreds of times. How could you root for this movie like you don't know?
Yeah. That's just it, right? See, I, a little bit different path at Rocky. I started with Rocky 4. Rocky 4 was the very first movie. I am a little bit younger, 48. So I saw Rocky 4 when I was 12, 1985.
Was that in the theater or?
It was in the theater. Yeah, it was in the theater. So I grew up just on the shores of Wolf Island, just past, off the shores of Kingston. We were in town that night. I think we were getting groceries or something like that. 12 years old. My friends were coming off the boat. And, I always like to walk on just to see who was coming off because I got it. We didn't have the internet back then, people. We had to figure out our own fun. So
exactly.
They were coming off and they said, "Hey, Tim, we're all going to the movies." And I said, "Yeah, sure." I said to my dad, "I'm going to the movies." He said, "Okay." And 12 years old, nobody cares. See you later. Goodbye. And
different times.
Yeah, so we all went to the theater and got my tickets, and I was sitting down in my seat and I said, "What are we seeing here anyways?" And they said Rocky 4. I had no idea. I had no idea what Rocky was.
Did they know?
Yeah, oh yeah, they knew. A couple of my friends were older.
Okay.
So they were like, "Yeah, we're going to go see Rocky. He's a boxer." I said, "Okay, boxer, sports movie. That sounds good." Yeah. Well, Jesus, I was blown away. I'm like, "What the hell is this?" This was, Apollo Creed and James Brown and the lights. And it was the MTV movie, right? So
sure. Yeah.
It was for a 12-year-old to see Rocky 4.
Yeah.
In the theater, big screen.
I'm 7 years older than you. I was 19 when that came out.
Yeah.
And same impact on me. And I had already seen the other 3.
Yeah, that's right.
But it was just like,
yeah. I
remember running to Foot Locker.
Yeah.
To buy the Adidas sweatshirt. The next day.
Yeah.
So, it still has the impact.
That's right. It wasn't long catching up. We saw Rocky 3 a couple days later. And I was like, all right, I got to go back and watch this. So it's funny. I'm not sure, as much as I love Rocky and Rocky 2, I'm not sure if it would have had the same impact had I watched Rocky at 12. Mm-hmm. Just because, like I said, MTV, the lights,
sure.
Lamborghini and the money, and he's living in a mansion. And now that I'm older, I'm like, oh my God, it's hard. People ask me, "What's your favorite Rocky movie?" And sometimes I can't give them an answer. You want to watch Rocky? Yeah, let's watch Rocky. You want to watch Rocky 2? Okay, sure. I'm all for it. So
yeah, I think that, obviously the first one is the most special for me for a variety of reasons. It was the first one I saw with my dad. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I was 10 years old. I remember certain scenes I was bored. I'm like, come on, what's going on? Let's go.
Yeah.
You really didn't get it. You weren't old enough to really get it.
That's right.
And then once you started training, you were like all into it and stuff. And when you're 10, you think it's a boxing movie.
Yeah.
You don't until you get a little older. So it's, but it's so funny because even the younger people now, they know of it, and they now, which one, I don't know, but they know. I had my t-shirt on the other day. I forget where my wife and I were going. It was the Yo t-shirt with his face in the O.
That's right.
And, we were at a restaurant. Server goes walking by and he goes, "Yo, Adrian." Kid's like 19 years old.
Yeah. I tell you what. I work with a lady, and I'm talking Rocky, and she goes, "I've never seen him." I said, "Well, you've never seen a Rocky movie?" She goes, "No." And I said, not one Rocky movie." "Nope." She goes, "Oh, you know who Rocky is?" She goes, "Of course, he's iconic." He's iconic. She's never seen a movie.
Yeah.
So I think she thinks Rocky was real. Like maybe she thought it was a documentary. I don't know. This was years ago, but she'd never seen a Rocky movie, but he was an icon. That's the thing
about with the movies in general. Like, I've seen movies that I didn't care for, or I've seen movies that I liked and I thought were great, but they didn't, they're not a part of my life as it is behind me.
Yeah.
But I saw them. All the old classics. I've seen Chinatown. I saw Godfather. I saw, all those older movies that were iconic, especially being a movie fan, I'm like, you got to see certain movies, so you watch them, but like you said, it's a different time. People have all this at their fingertips now. So
yeah, I think that's a lot. That's part of it. Going to the movies was so special. You didn't have it, right? You didn't have Netflix. You didn't have Disney Plus.
And it was special. You went to the theater, you got your popcorn, it's a big surround sound theater. That's how and actually, going to Rambo, I didn't see First Blood in the theater.
Yeah.
I saw that on cable.
Yeah.
I didn't even rent it. I saw it on cable, and I liked it. I watched it, and right around the time I saw that, it was late '83. It had already gone in the theater and came back out on cable.
Okay.
And I just, I'm Stallone fan, so I'm like, okay, let me check this out. And I liked it. I liked the movie. I thought it was great. It was a lot more grounded than some of the comic book style Rambos that were to follow. But when Rambo 2 came out and you saw that in the theater, holy crap,
Again, I'm a huge Rambo fan, guys, like huge. If Rocky is here, Rambo is, Rocky's 1, Rambo's 1A. It's that close. It's that close. I'm, like I said, if you want to watch Rocky, I'm all for it. But if you want to put Rambo on, I'm your guy. I may be waking up on your couch in the morning and you're thinking, this guy's still here watching them. No, I didn't see Rambo. I didn't see First Blood or First Blood Part 2 in the theater. We rented First Blood. Again, Stallone movie. Saw the trailer. Looked great.
Yeah.
At the end, they had a trailer for First Blood Part 2. And we all watched it. And my dad says, geez, I guess we better get that. So we rented First Blood Part 2 the next weekend. And I watched those over and over again. I wasn't old enough. Rambo 3 was actually rated R when it came out in the theater here in Canada.
Oh, was it?
I don't know about in the States, but it was rated R.
I don't remember. I did see that one in the theater too.
Yeah.
And I don't remember.
My friend says, it was 88. I was like 13. I know was it 80? Yeah, 88, right? So I was 15. And he says you're not going to be able to see it. I said, what do you mean I'm not going to be able to see it? It's rated R. I said, well, I'm going to that movie. So I bought tickets to some other movie. I can't tell you what it was.
The PG movie.
And then they don't really check your security guys at the theater. They don't care. I bought a ticket and then walked into Rambo 3. I wasn't missing that. So I saw that in the theater and it was pretty good. I loved it. It was, and then you've got John Rambo, you got Last Blood. So
Rambo, when that was 07 or 06 or 08?
I think it was 06. Yeah.
Okay. It was right around the time Balboa came out.
Yeah.
Around. So he went a good, 20 years.
Yeah.
Did you just say Rambo 3 was 88?
88 for Rambo 3. So,
okay. So almost 20 years before Rambo came out.
Yeah. So. No, I remember, I thought he was done with it. I was so glad that he brought it back. The way Last Blood ended, I don't think I'm going to put a spoiler here for anybody. I'm not sure if he's done with it. I'm not.
Yeah,
sure if he's done with the character.
A little ambiguous that he could still want, get back in the ring, the ring, but
I think it's like Rocky, right? Rocky never dies, right? So
there's certain characters that just don't, you can't kill them off. They're just that iconic.
Yeah.
It's like, Batman never dies, Superman, Rocky and Rambo. I mean, there are certain characters that they just, you mention them, everybody knows, like the lady said, I know Rocky.
Yeah.
She knew Rocky, but she didn't know the movies.
Yeah. I
mean, she didn't see the movies. I mean, so that goes to tell you something right there, that how iconic it is.
Yeah.
But Rambo, when 2 and 3 came out.
Yeah.
Man, that was just, they didn't make movies like that where everybody's just getting blown up and shot and beheaded.
Yeah. Oh my God, the 80s. I'm telling you right now, people, 80s movies. I put that decade against any other decade. I'm sorry. I know Rocky came out in 76 and Rocky 2.
Yeah, but Rocky 3 came out in 82.
Yeah.
And then Rocky 4 came out in 85.
Rocky 2, Rocky 3, excuse me. First Blood Part 2. I mean, you got the Lethal Weapon movies. You got, Commando, Schwarzenegger and Stallone. We were spoiled, guys, in the 80s.
Oh, God, yeah.
We were so spoiled. Like, there was so much so much material, like, and not just Stallone and Schwarzenegger. I mean, everybody, Beverly Hills Cop and
No, like you said, Lethal Weapon. I mean, it was just there were so many different action movies that were real action movies.
That's right.
No CGI of leaping from the buildings and stuff. You know,
no, that's right.
The Die Hard series.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, my goodness.
And that's another one, Die Hard series. That one, I don't know how many installments. I think 6. I think I'm not 100%. But they got better as they got old.
Oh my goodness. No, now I got a question for you. Die Hard. Is it a Christmas movie? Do you consider that a Christmas movie?
That's
a debate that goes on for years.
I know. I've always said that if the movie is taking place in Christmas, or is mentioning Christmas in the movie, then it's a Christmas movie. I actually made a viewing list one season.
Yeah.
And I had on there Rocky IV.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, how is Rocky IV a Christmas movie? I'm like, he yells Merry Christmas to his son. How can it be a Christmas movie?
Yeah, that's right. You know what?
But Die Hard, man. You know,
Die Hard. He's going out to LA. He's going to a Christmas party.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell because it's LA, but it's Christmas time. He's going to see his ex-wife.
Yeah.
Talk about the kids. All fucking hell breaks loose. You know, like I love it. Die Hard.
It does say that it is a Christmas movie. My wife and I went to a Christmas party this past Christmas, and the guy had on the wall by his Christmas tree a decoration, and it was a box, and it was a metal box.
Yeah.
And there was a picture of Bruce Willis in there as John McClane with the lighter.
Yeah.
You know, crawling through the air vent.
Yeah.
And the thing was like, it was good size. It was like life size.
Yeah.
But that was on the wall for Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
So of course it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, there's a famous line, right, where he picks up the machine gun and he leaves him a note and says, "Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho." If that's not a Christmas movie, folks, I don't know what is. So
that's right. That's
Die Hard. Tony and I say Christmas movie. Guys, drop us a comment. Leave us a comment. You know, what do you think it is? So, Tony, I'm going to spin the tables on you a little bit since we're at the bar here. I'm going to talk some sports here. We got Stanley Cup playoffs here going on.
I'll talk sports if it is Major League Baseball or American NFL football.
Major League Baseball is nice and underway.
But yeah, I mean, you guys are into your hockey obviously up there, right at birth.
Right there. I mean, McDavid got the Oilers, got the Oilers. So got the Battle of Alberta going on right now in Canada. 2 Canadian teams left. Calgary and Edmonton. Edmonton is up 2-1. They won last night. So, Tony, you live in Florida.
Do you have a particular team you're rooting for in that?
Yeah, Edmonton Oilers. So I've been an Oilers fan.
See, I'm not that ignorant about hockey. That used to be Gretzky.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I got the Gretzky sweater. We don't call them jerseys here in Canada. Okay, we call them sweaters. All right, you put your hockey sweater on. They used to be sweaters, and that's why.
They used to really be sweaters.
They used to be sweaters.
See?
In the original 6, they wore sweaters. They never wore a jersey.
That's funny.
So listen, you live in Florida. You've got Tampa Bay and Florida in the playoffs right now. Tampa Bay has won the Stanley Cup the last 2 years.
I actually knew that.
Right in your backyard. So
I knew that. The bad part, though, is I did not know Florida was down in Miami. I thought the Panthers were thought the Panthers were north. I thought they were up by Jacksonville for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, that's football. That's the
I know. See,
Carolina and the Jacksonville. Well, we're both big football. We'll get into the football in football season.
But a couple of the guys at the job site are hockey fans, so they're they're rooting for the local home team. I'm only about 45 minutes from Tampa, so there's a lot of fans around here that like them. So I root for the home team. I mean, I follow NFL football. I'm a New York Giants fan.
Yeah.
But when the Giants are out of the playoffs, I hope the Bucks go far. It's the local team.
Well, I'm a Giants fan too, and the Giants haven't been in the playoffs in a long time. So
it's been a while, my friend. It's been a while. But yeah, I hope. So is this the last 4 teams? This is the final 4?
No, we're at. There's 8 teams left right now.
Oh, there's 8. Okay.
Colorado, St. Louis, Edmonton and Calgary, Tampa Bay and Florida, and the New York Rangers and the Carolina Hurricanes. So those are your 8 teams, guys. Check it out and go check out a Tampa Bay Florida game.
I actually went to one before. My buddy is a very huge Buffalo Sabres fan.
Okay.
And when he came to visit, the Sabres were playing the Lightning.
Yeah.
So he's like, we got to go. And we went. I mean, I had a good time.
Yeah.
I'd have a good time with my buddies, at an insurance seminar. I mean, it was good. It was fun. I mean,
it's great. It's the fastest game on earth, people.
Way back when, probably around 85, if I had to guess, I was still living in New York, and I had tickets to the Rangers Devils on the ice.
Yeah.
And it was cool. I mean, but I actually tried to get into it, because my one friend is a Buffalo Sabres fan, and the other one is a New York Rangers fan.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't do it, man. Just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
But no, it's not for everybody. But I tell you, if you see hockey live, you'll be surprised how fast.
It's definitely different live. That's kind of like golf.
Yeah.
It's like watching golf on TV is a little rough, but when you're there and you're watching them hit and you're walking around, it's a little different. It's a little more.
I like golf on TV. It's Sunday afternoon on the couch.
I do too, but some people it's boring, and it is what it is.
I have a question for you.
What's that?
So years ago, Fox came up with the glowing puck for our friends in the States because they said they couldn't see the puck on the ice.
Really?
So you got a black puck on the white ice. How can you see a golf ball hit 400 yards down the field?
Yeah, in the sky.
You can't see a puck on the ice.
It's probably Fox is always messing with their graphics.
Yeah.
They are the most graphic friendly station I've ever seen in my life.
So the puck would go around the boards. Yeah, the puck would go around the boards, and it would be like blue.
A trail.
And if they shot it hard enough, it'd be red. There'd be a red trail. And I thought, what the hell is this? They're wrecking the game.
Going on?
That didn't last long, thank goodness. So,
it didn't?
Anyways, no, it didn't. They took that off. So,
yeah.
Anyways, like I said, guys, we flip flop back and forth here a little bit. And, but Tony, I want to talk about, you had a recent trip to Philadelphia.
Yeah. I've had a very successful 2022 involving the Rocky universe. So it's been good.
Yeah, it started right in your backyard though, right? It started with
it did.
Hogan's Hangout.
Yeah, Hogan's Hangout. Hulk has a bar in Clearwater Beach that he started doing karaoke at, and I'm actually glad I went when I did because it's gotten so big now. They charge a cover.
Oh, really?
They have him really broken off now, where you can't go over there. It's a lot different. So yeah, I mean, super cool guy.
Look at that right there. Look at that.
There he is.
Hulkamania.
Hey? He's it's cool. Hey, Hulk called me brother, so that's
oh yeah, that's awesome.
He's like, you got it, brother. I'm like, all right, man, that's pretty cool, getting called brother by Hulk Hogan. I met him there. So that was kind of cool. And then my daughter bought me tickets to meet Carl Weathers in Philadelphia at a Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. So we went up there, we met him, and obviously did the whole Rocky locations. But
look at that right there.
Nice man. I mean, first of all, he looks like he could jump back in the ring any minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my daughter Sophia.
Yeah.
That's who got me the tickets to go. We chatted with him for a little bit, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, not real long, but long enough. And super nice guy, really down to earth.
Yeah.
There was a little Q&A there that we could ask questions and stuff. So it was fun. And then he signed my boxing glove. I brought up a boxing glove to sign. So he signed that. And I said, will you write anything on there? He goes, all right, whatever you want on there. I'm like, okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I want the stallion.
I want the stallion. Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed. That's awesome. Look at that. Eh? Really nice signature on it.
Oh yeah.
Took his time, right?
So he did that real nice. And
did you ask him any questions?
I met my daughter did. My daughter asked him if he saw Rocky versus Drago, the director's cut. Mm-hmm. But he said he did not. Mm-hmm. He said, but he heard, the good things about it. And then he asked Sophie, he's like, did you like it? And she goes, yeah, I loved it. He goes, well, that's all that really matters. If you liked it.
It's all that matters.
Real
end
nice
of the day,
guy,
right?
Man.
Yeah.
What's that?
End of the day. End of the day, that's all that matters. So
yeah. So he was so nice.
I'm going to put that picture back up here, Tony. Hang on. I'm going to put that picture back up. Look at that. That's a great picture of you guys.
Oh, it's so cool. He was so nice. I mean, we shook hands and we chatted. I said, look, man, I go, look at you. I said, you could get back in the ring.
Yeah.
He started laughing.
Yeah.
But I mean, once an athlete, usually always an athlete. So
now, was it mostly Rocky questions, Action Jackson, Predator?
Happy Gilmore? It was mostly Rocky. Nobody touched on Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
It was one or two Predator. There was one Action Jackson, but it was mostly. Oh, and they talked to him about the Star Wars thing he's doing now.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. Yeah, that's right.
But it was mostly Rocky.
Yeah.
And actually, when my daughter went up there, 2 people asked Rocky questions, and then somebody asked an Action Jackson question, and somebody asked something else. And Sophia said, "Well, I'm going to bring it back to Rocky. Sorry about that."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Don't you be sorry." He goes, "I'm sitting up here because of Rocky." He knew it, man. He knew it shot him.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's good.
So, but yeah, really, really nice man. So it was really cool just to meet him. Yeah. And then we did the locations. We went to the statue and the steps and.
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
Went to the Italian market. Time. Yeah, it was good. It was a good day.
Yeah.
Good time. So, and I actually met Tony D up there too.
Okay.
Who's another Rocky File guest alumni. So.
Yeah, Tony D. Tony D is a great guy. He posted the picture of his little guys with Carl Weathers too. Just a great shot that he took the time to do that with everybody.
Yeah, no, it was good stuff.
Yeah, I wish, what? I really liked, obviously Apollo Creed, right? Like Apollo is so good in the movies. I really liked Action Jackson. I was hoping that when that came out, I was really hoping he was going to do another one, but I don't know what happened.
That was actually the question. So there was one person asked, was there any more Action Jacksons planned?
Yeah.
And he said there was. There was supposed to be like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
And then he had said, somebody asked him if they were to reboot it,
right?
Would he want to be involved in it, like as a police captain or somebody, obviously not Action Jackson, but somebody else in the movie. And he said he would love to. He goes, I would love to. I'd produce it or I would direct it. He goes, I would love to be involved. So who knows? Maybe down the road we might see an Action Jackson reboot. And
oh my goodness,
somebody will play Action Jackson. Maybe he'll be the. You know what? I saw that movie once or twice. I know. I mean, I saw it a couple times.
Yeah.
I didn't see it enough to really know it. Yeah. So I don't really remember like if he had some kind of captain or somebody that was older. Or
yeah, he
what,
did. Yeah, he was. So he was. I'm definitely not going to spoil this because it was 1987.
Yeah.
Right. That he made that movie. And he was a lieutenant that got demoted to sergeant. All right. Okay. And so basically they put him on a desk. They said, look, you're causing too many problems.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he killed the person, he killed the kid, and it was Craig T. Nelson's character. Craig T. Nelson in that movie too was so good as the bad guy, right? So, but and it was Bill Duke from Predator was his sergeant.
So Carl Weathers might play sergeant,
Yeah, that's right. So
that would work out well.
It was just a great movie, like just
it was.
Full out action. Good. I mean, Action Jackson, right? So
it's been a very successful 2022. And I told my daughter, I was like, after the Philly trip, she bought me that for a Father's Day birthday combo because Father's Day and my birthday are only 4 weeks apart. I said, you can't top this. I mean, this is just the best thing ever.
Well, now we chatted earlier and, hang on, let me get this up here. We've got
huge news.
You've got a huge news. Tony's huge news. So Tony, the stage is yours, my friend.
Yeah. Well, I did tell her that. I said you can't top this. The only way you'd be able to top this is to from having dinner with Sly. And she laughed. And December 10th in LA, I'm going to the Experience to meet Sylvester Stallone.
Get out of town.
It is a dream come true. And I know I don't sound like overly excited yet because it's 6 months away, and I mean, unfortunately he could cancel or something like that, but
I think I got a picture.
There it is. If you guys that don't know about the Experience it's a UK based, celebrity, really, time. I don't know what to call it. It's a dinner. It's a Q&A. It's a meet and greet. But basically they show a video of the actor. They had other actors. They have Mel Gibson, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Robert De Niro.
Right.
And Sly will be there. They'll show movies of clips of his movies with a live orchestra. Okay. Then he gets there the 3-course dinner.
Yeah.
And then he takes the stage for an hour and a half interview and questions.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, picture time.
Wow.
And my as Mike says, my 30 seconds in the elevator will start when I walk in there to shake his hand and take that picture.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I thought she was joking. I'm like, this is because they weren't in the States.
Yeah, that's right.
And she,
Yeah.
you know, they said it's coming to America. They're going to be in LA. So we bought the tickets last week to go to the dinner, and then we
Right.
bought the ticket for the photo. So we're all set. We're
Unbelievable.
locked in. We have our seats. We are. I have the hotel booked. We're going. We're going. I'm going to meet this man in 6 months. I just after 46 years of hoping, you know, and I've gone over to Palm Beach. You know, I live 4 hours away from Palm Beach.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone over there and driven around the area. I've driven past his house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hoping to catch him getting his mail or something or walking his dog. You know, but I've never wanted to meet him like in some kind of crowded situation.
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
I didn't want to. He's in a restaurant and everybody knows he's in the restaurant, so they start milling around outside, and then he kind of just beelines it to the car because there's so many people there.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, the blurry shot where you're trying to do a selfie or something. So I've always wanted it to be a Comic-Con or something like this.
Yeah.
Or set up somehow, you know.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, obviously it's a ways away, you know, but we'll definitely touch base on it when it happens. But yeah, man, 6 months from now, I'll be shaking his hand and telling him that in 1976, he changed my life.
You got the calendar. You started marking off the days, yeah?
Not yet. It's a little too far.
Yeah.
Just, you know, but
be like a little kid, be like a little kid at Christmas. You'd be just,
brother,
won't be able
I'm
to
telling
sleep,
you,
right?
man, I couldn't even believe when I saw it. I was like, this can't be, because when I first saw it, she showed it to me.
Mm-hmm.
It said it was a virtual. I said,
Right.
I don't want to see him virtual. I don't care about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd be cool to ask him a question or
sure.
something, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's right. And I agree with you. You know, they're under the Stars, Sly. They're under no obligation to, you know, stop. And I mean, they do. No. They do take lots of pictures with fans, and it's all the time. I have met
dozens and dozens, and if I tried to list off all the celebrity, or I shouldn't say, you know, famous people, whatever term you want to use, sports, movies, music, TV. No, they're not. You know, and if I've been lucky enough where the people I've met have been courteous. Hey, can you take a picture? Boom, boom. You're in and out. Shake their hand. I appreciate your work. That's it. You move on. You know, but
right.
I mean, they're people, man. They could have had a bad day at work. I mean, I know if I walk out of work and I had a bad day at work, I wouldn't want somebody stopping me and saying, "Hey, can I talk to you for a minute? Hey, can you take a picture?" Yeah. You know, so I respect it if it was to ever happen, but that would be heartbreaking if it was somebody of his stature.
Well, to me, they always say careful when you meet your heroes, right? Because you might walk away disappointed.
I mean, you see the interviews. He seems really down to earth and nice and genuine. You know, you see the roles that he plays, and you think you know the man.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously we don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
that's right.
I like to think that he's as genuine and down to earth as he is in the interviews. I mean, Mike's met him several times. He says he is. John Rivoli met him. He says he is. So I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
But again, what if I finally see him and it's that he's with his family and he's getting in the car and he's just not going to stop. You know,
and it's not even that. It's not that he's having a bad day. They've all got schedules. They've all got appointments, and they're, you know, he could be on his way to that dinner and there could be a group out there, and he just, you know, and I've seen him where he's not going to sign. He's just walking, you know, he's coming to dinner with his family and he's not, and you got to remember too, he's probably seen the same people over and over and over again with different pictures and different.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen videos on YouTube of him seeing people outside the restaurant, and he flat out tells them, he's like, "I saw you an hour ago. You had 15 pictures."
Yeah, that's
right. They know the pros.
Yeah,
they know the pros are there, just getting pictures signed, and and most of the time they obligate them with a handful. You know, here's 2 or 3.
Right. And I've seen him where he make jokes about it. And he goes, you know, I've signed for you. And he goes, no, you haven't. He goes, I've definitely signed for you. And
Matt Damon did that. I saw a video.
Yeah.
I saw him do that. He goes, what do you get from me when you sell the picture? He's like, well, I just gave you about $400 worth. We're good.
Yeah. I watched the video, Mark Hamill, and he just said, I'm not signing today, selfies only. And you know what? If you're a fan, if you're a fan of Stallone or Schwarzenegger or Bruce Willis or Dolph Lundgren, and they say, look, I'll take a picture with you, and he, gracious with his time, take the picture.
Yeah,
You know
of
what?
course.
Take it. The picture, I'd rather have the picture anyways. You know what I mean?
Agreed. If I had to choose, well, I did have to choose, really. I mean, I shouldn't say I did.
Yeah.
They're not doing any signatures at this event.
Right.
There's auctioning off memorabilia that is signed,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't, like I brought the boxing glove to Carl Weathers. There's not that for him. I can't bring a boxing glove there for him to sign.
But think how, you're going to have to redo that wall behind you now, right? Because how big is this? It's going to be like 30 by 30, this picture.
Yeah, we can't have an 8 by 10 of that picture. That's got to be pretty.
No. And you know what? I think Gene is going to let you have that in multiple rooms in the house. I mean, that probably should go.
She and Mrs. Stallion.
It'd probably go over the fireplace in the living room. I mean, it could go in the dining room.
She definitely understood. I told her, I said, this is the chance of a lifetime. I just what if, I pass on this and God forbid something happens to him or me.
Yeah.
So.
That's right. So, Sophia, kudos for that one. You really knocked it out of the park.
She's a server at a breakfast cafe in her college town. She makes very good money.
Good. Yeah.
And she saves up her money and does big things. Like she doesn't nickel and dime it away each week. Like she just came back from a trip in North Carolina to see a concert.
Yeah.
She bought Bruno Mars tickets for my wife and my younger daughter and her to go see the concert in Boston. So
she's.
I got to give her credit. If you're going to do it right.
So let me see. You're getting Sly, and Gina's getting Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Hey, if you like Bruno Mars, I'm not.
All three of them, they love him. You know, Michael Jackson is gone, so he's the next best.
Yeah, that's right. My wife Tina and my daughter, they would probably take the Bruno Mars tickets, and that's just fine because I said, well, there's no room at the table for you and Sly, so.
Right. That's it.
No, that's, you know what? I look forward to discussing that more with you, the preparation. If
it actually comes closer, it's obviously going to get, the reality of it's going to set in and it's going to be, definitely a different animal.
Yeah.
Right now it's 6 months away, but I said, that's why I got to get back in shape. I'm not taking a picture with this guy that I've waited 46 years to take a picture with. And, I look like some kind of bloated, sea mammal. So.
No, that's right. So, no, that's great. I mean, this has been great. I said, we're just, we started off, we connected with the Rocky Files, and again tomorrow night, 7:00 on YouTube, guys, check them out. Mike and Stacy at the Rocky Files podcast. They talk all Rocky, so you want to get your fix in. Those are good people over there. Tony and I connected there, and like I said, you're at a party, you're at a bar, how you doing? Good to see you. You like sports. Sports is okay. You watch movies? Yeah, I watch movies. What movies do you watch? I like Rocky. Oh, you like Rocky? Yeah. What's your favorite?
We're good.
You're probably having a couple beers with that guy. So
now you
or
can
girl
talk.
or person.
Hey, I've done it. I've done it before. I've been out with barbecues or parties or whatever, and you come across the one person that doesn't follow sports.
Yeah.
And they're not really into movies.
Yep.
Okay, well, try to think of something else.
Yeah.
We Tim and I already decided that this show will be no religion, no politics, just pure entertainment and fun. And that's the way I look at it when I meet people. I'm not going to have a conversation that's going to be very argumentative as soon as it's brought up.
Yeah. We can agree to disagree on the movies. We can agree. I'm sure we'll get into Rocky 5 at some point in this, on this journey, when we have different.
My least favorite. I know a lot of people disagree with me, and I was actually very surprised at how many people like that movie.
Yeah.
I was very surprised at how many people felt pretty passionate about that movie. Right. I am not one of them, but it's, I have my reasons. But yeah, man, way back when I was younger, I bartended in my early 20s to my early 30s. Mm-hmm. And that was the rule, man. You'd come here and talk to me about a movie you saw.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your team sucks. You love your dog. You hate your wife. Whatever you want to say. No politics, no religion. We're good.
Yeah.
But
speaking of movies, so this Friday, May 27th, I think it's the same in the States, the release.
yeah.
Highly anticipated release of Top Gun Maverick.
Maverick.
Look at that right there. Tom Cruise, does he age?
I'm telling you, he's 58 years old.
Yeah.
And I mean, he looks like in 86 when Top Gun came out, I think he was 24.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks 30 there, if that.
Well, and I mean, that's the poster, but I've seen the trailer. I'm sure you have too.
Yeah.
It looks like it's the next day.
It's amazing.
I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but is he sleeping in a hyper chamber or
well,
what is he like?
I mean, my wife had said something, Mrs. Stallion, as you call her. She said something one time to me because I used to get I'd look at pictures of Sly. I'm like, come on, man, look at this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's 59 years old, filming Balboa. Yeah. He's got abs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm 56. I look like I swallowed a beach ball. And she's like, his job is to look good.
Yeah.
His job is to have abs and big arms and round shoulders. Tom Cruise's job is to look good.
Yeah.
So that's your job. When you wake up in the morning and have your perfect breakfast, and then go training in whatever form you're going to be training.
Yeah.
For your 2-3 hours, and then you go into this, read your scripts in the studio, whatever. And then you're going to do a jog at night, and but that's all you have to do. It's easy to look. I shouldn't say easy. I'm sure you work hard.
Yeah, there's long days.
It's easier to look like that when you don't have to go work 8-9 hours at a job, then come home and try to jam in your workouts. So she had a point when I get frustrated by that. But they do. Their job is to look good, and they do.
Yeah.
They look good, man. They
do. And I mean, we all remember Top Gun when it came out in 86. 1986.
1986.
Right?
I was 20 years old.
Yeah, I saw that. The first time I saw that was on VHS. Yes, VHS, I said. The old VCR. But you know what? It holds up today. I watched it.
It does.
Probably about 2 weeks ago. It was one of the movies. It's one of the movies that I see on TV, and it was about 5 minutes in. And I knew that scene coming up when, he's like, time to buzz the tower, Goose. And he's like, and he's like, negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full, and he's gonna do it. Yeah, he's gonna do it, right? So
we just watched it 2 nights ago. Gina wanted to watch it to get a little refresher before we went on Friday.
That's right. Like, I mean, there's so many good lines. These are the movies that you recite the lines, you remember the scenes. Like I said, I've seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of movies, and you watch a movie, it's like, that's pretty good. I wouldn't get it again. Or if you see it on TV, it's like, geez, I'm glad I didn't rent that. I didn't pay for that.
Yeah, but when Talk to Me Goose or Negative Ghost Rider or The Need for Speed.
Yeah, The Need for Speed.
Lines, right? And everybody knows those lines.
Yeah. Even Tom Skerritt, and he's like, oh, that'll just about cover the flybys. He that they're in shit. That they're done. Like, day one. It's day one, and they just broke like 3 rules.
Goose comes out of the office, and he's like, oh, maybe I could be a truck driver. Man, you got that number for truck driving school?
We saw on TV, like, it's just like, Maverick. They're talking about him. The instructors are like, is he reckless? He's like, I don't know. I mean, but he's so damn good, right? Yeah. It's high risk, high reward. So, and it doesn't, judging by the trailer, it looks like he's an instructor now, but it doesn't look like he's lost the edge, because
he definitely,
if anybody's seen the trailer,
he didn't lose his maverickness,
right?
So, which is why he's only a captain after 30 years in the Navy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the great,
pissing people off along the way, I guess.
Oh yeah. It's going to be great. So
it is. And they said Iceman is going to be in it. And I don't know if you saw the one trailer where it showed, he said the only reason you're here is because Admiral Kaczynski said you should be here. So obviously Iceman moved up the ranks to Admiral.
Yeah, that's right. And it's funny. I was talking with my wife about that earlier, and Val Kilmer is reprising his role. Yeah. Just like you said, and they had to, unfortunately, he's had a lot of major health problems over the last years.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he talks with one of those vocal
vocal boxes, and he can't even eat. Like he's got a feeding tube.
Actually, if you ever get a chance, go on. I think it's Netflix. There's a show. It was a documentary called Val.
Yeah, I've watched it. Yeah, I watched it.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, amazing show. He really grew a lot of respect for him. I liked him as it was.
Yeah.
I mean, but watching that movie, it was, check that out if you can, anybody. Val, I don't know if it's still on there or not. It might not be on there anymore. But it was amazing seeing what he's gone through. I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but seen him in a movie in a while.
No, that's good.
But,
it's going to be great. And they had to do a lot of, I mean, the stuff they can do now. They've taken all his audio from his whole career and interviews, and they've pieced it together. So he's just got to mouth the words, and it's
they use some kind of CGI for the vocal cords. I don't know what it was, but we'll see. But I mean, that's amazing. At least he could be in it though.
Yeah, because I know that he was like, I got to be in this movie. And I mean, it's supposed to come out 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But obviously the world was upside down. It still is. But anyways,
but I mean,
it's out now. It's coming out Friday.
I mean, he had to be in it. I mean, there's no way he shouldn't.
No, that's right. No, it's gonna be phenomenal. So
looking forward to it. Yeah, we already have our tickets for Friday night.
Yeah,
we're going Friday night.
Isn't that amazing? You remember years ago, like you remember how you used to do it? You had to stand in line outside the theater. And it was, I mean, if you got there late, you were getting a crappy seat up front and you're not.
Oh, absolutely.
Like that,
absolutely.
Right? So,
I mean, there's a picture I posted on my Instagram of the Rocky movie, the big marquee says Rocky.
Yeah.
And there's lines down the block.
Yeah, yeah.
And you would wait in line. I mean, that's all that you could do. There was no way.
And it was like you get to the theater, sorry, sold out. It was like,
I mean, I have to admit, I'm not going to lie. I do like this,
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
You have your seat reserved. It's a recliner seat, I mean, it's nice.
We went to see, I know this sounds weird, but we went to see Expendables 2 in the theater. That's not the weird part. It was, so we bought our tickets. There was 4 of us that bought tickets, nice. We looked at the theater and we want to be halfway up. So we bought our tickets. Mm-hmm. The movie was a 7:05 start. So we got there about 7:00, went out for a couple pints, the boys, and we walked in and I couldn't believe the theater was full. Like everybody I talked to said, oh, I'm not going to, another Stallone action movie, but
right.
These Expendable movies, I'm telling you, they hold up. Anyways, there was people in our seats. And I came up and I politely said, I'm sorry, these are our seats. And she said, well, we've already moved. I said, well, you're going to have to move again because I got a ticket. I got a ticket stub for this seat.
Right.
She said, well, they sold them to us. And I said, no, I've got the receipt. So unfortunately, we had to kick them out of our seats. They had seats at the very front row because they came in.
Okay.
But they said, well, there was nobody in these seats. I said, yeah, because we haven't got here yet.
Because I just got here.
So I want to thank the movie theaters for going ahead and doing the online, pre-order seats.
Yeah.
Because you're guaranteed your seat. As long as you show up, you're seeing the movie. So
no, I
apologize.
Love it.
I apologize to the people that were in most seats, but I'm not sitting in the front row for Expendables. I'll tell you that.
No, so. I'm not sitting in the front row for anything.
No, that's good. No,
our seats are good. We got some middle theater, good amount back for Top Gun. So we'll see.
Are you seeing an IMAX?
What's that?
IMAX?
No, we're not going IMAX. We're just going regular theater. I mean, we might go IMAX again at a second time, but for the first one, my wife.
You ever sat in the V box seats? Do they have those down there?
No.
I've seen those, and I'm not brave enough to sit in one of those.
I don't need that much stuff going on, That's still too much.
You can adjust how much they move, but I'm not. No, let them do the flying.
Yeah,
I'll just watch
exactly. But that'll be. So you're seeing it Saturday, you said?
Saturday, yeah.
Okay.
I think we're seeing it Saturday.
My buddy's seeing it Friday. You're seeing it Saturday, so we'll touch base on that on episode 2.
Yes. Episode 2, guys, next week. Wednesday nights, 7:00 is when we're going to drop on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So, Tony, where can people find you?
I'm just a single Instagram guy. I mean, I'm over there on Instagram at Stallion22 Tony. Everything's Rocky. So it's just all Rocky posts, Rocky related posts.
Wait till December.
Oh yeah.
You think
thought I posted a lot when I met Carl Weathers?
You think there's the Rocky post now? Wait till December. It's going to be a hell of a Christmas, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, it's going to be crazy. I'm going to ask him to follow me on Instagram. Why not?
I don't see why he wouldn't. Right?
Why not? We can't hurt.
I'd like to see that Christmas ornament you get this year.
Christmas ornament?
The Christmas ornament, you and Sly on the tree. That's going to be nice. Eh?
I might do that now. You gave me a good idea.
Yeah, it's just, Gina, I apologize if, you wake up Christmas morning and that's all that's on the tree.
That's all that's on the tree. Just
a bunch of decorations of Tony and Sly.
Oh God.
Anyways,
but yeah,
guys,
I'm on Instagram. That's the only one I have. I'm not big into social media.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can check me out there. Lots of Rocky posts, lots of motivational posts.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Tim's on there as well on Instagram.
Yeah, I've got the exciting @Tim Wistard.
There you go.
So that's
there you go.
I don't have as fancy name as the Stallion 22, but
I had to now. You know the backstory.
Yeah, I know the backstory.
I had 11,000 followers.
Yeah.
And I was hacked. It was Tony C22.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was Tony.C.22.
Yeah.
11,000 followers. I was hacked. Had to start over.
Maybe they didn't like the dot. I don't know.
Tony _20 C20.
Yeah.
3,000 followers.
That's great. Hey, you know what?
Got hacked.
Yeah.
I said they must have a problem with Tony C. I don't know.
Listen, you're a perfect candidate for round 14 because you know what? You got hacked. You got back up. Got hacked again. You got back up.
So now I have 600 followers and building.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that the account doesn't get messed with because I kind of like the name. So
yeah, no, it's good.
But it's always been 22. I actually wore 22 when I played sports in my younger years.
So did Sly.
Exactly. Right? So did Sly, and so did another big idol of mine growing up, Mr. Burt Reynolds. So he wore that in Longest Yard, and
another great movie. We'll get into that. We'll get into the Longest Yard.
Yeah. We'll have plenty of movies to talk about.
We'll get into the comparison. I like them both, so we'll just leave it at that. We'll get into those again.
This will have to be homework of mine. I never finished watching the remake.
Oh, really? The remake is really good.
I couldn't buy into Adam Sandler being the role of Paul Crewe.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. I will watch it just so we can compare the two. That'll be a good episode.
Anyways, Tony, I want to thank you so much for jumping into this with me. This new adventure. I mean, it's great. We had a little, like I said, bit of the bug we caught on the other shows. It just seemed like a fun. Yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
and it's just fun. And we're going to keep it light. If you're passionate about it, if you're keeping it light, reminiscing. It's good to find people Rocky in the Rocky land, the movie land, the sports land. You want to talk about it. Drop us a message, guys. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell us what you thought of the show. You know what? Follow us on Instagram for more previews of upcoming shows of what we're going to do. And this has been a blast, Tony.
And yeah, definitely let us know. We're not thin-skinned. You don't have to sugarcoat it and, tiptoe around it. Guys, you sucked. Let's talk about it. Whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
We'll address each of them if we can. We'll see. Or subjects you want to hear us talk about, or movies you want to hear us get our take on, or whatever. So, man, this is a blast. This is good. So we'll have to,
all right, man.
We'll have to do this again next week, and we'll talk
see you
about
next
Top
week.
Gun.
Listen, enjoy the movie. And,
you too.
We'll see you guys. Take care.
You too. Take care, guys. See ya.